So we were talking about the magic word tool, and I think I touched on it yesterday, and I said its work is just to make selections. If I, for example, uncheck the contiguous, let's see what will happen. Control D. You see, when you uncheck contiguous with the same values of the tolerance, it will select a larger portion than it was selecting. Yeah? Let's say, for example, we have a new document. Of two shapes. One, I can give a color there, and then also I can draw another one. So if I want to select using the magic word tool, you can see there. If I uncheck the contiguous here, and then okay, not really. Just a minute. So this is the magic word tool. Just a minute. Warning: no pixels of more than 50% selected. The selection edges will not be visible. It's giving us an error. Click on that. Okay, let's try and select this one. We see whether it's going to work. Okay, so it's not accepting that one. Okay, it's not really selecting these shapes. Yes. Like it's giving me this error message. No pixels. No pixels are more than 50% selected. The selection edge will not be visible. Let me activate. Still, it's not working. Let me check that one. Contiguous. Nice. The selection with the magic word tool is not working with the shapes. Let me close this one. No. Let me try and open a new one. Just with these are just a test. I'm just trying to see whether it's going to work. Making selections using I'm trying to select these shapes using the magic word. So this one is okay. Let me try and check this. It's not still the same error message. Okay, so it's not working. So the magic word tool select. If I check this one, contiguous, and then I do Control D first, you see this one is making lesser. It's not selecting everything. But if I uncheck, it will Control D to deselect, or you can come to select, deselect. Then when this contiguous is selected, the magic word tool will make a bigger selection than it did previously. Okay, so that is good. Then we have some more. There's another one here. There's another tool I wanted us to look at. It's called the. Here there is a mixture. Just allow me to delete some slides here. Lasso tool. Okay, lasso tool. We looked at them yesterday. This was just we did this one yesterday. Selecting an image. Like for example, you can select the head. Okay, still not working. You can select the head of this quick selection. Let me use the quick selection. When you select that one, so you just choose hue and saturation. This time I'm using the quick selection tool. This quick selection tool just above the magic word tool. And then once you make the selection, you can change the hue and saturation, image adjustment, hue and saturation. You can now do the adjustment of that section of the head. Okay, like that, you see. Then also, if you want to change the body, the hue and saturation of the body, so you just again click on the quick selection, and then from there you make the selection. Of course, this one, for you to minus, you just do Control D. Okay, so once you make the selection, Alt or the Alt key. We are trying to select this body section using the quick selection. So okay. So once you're done selecting, and now you can edit the hue and saturation. So image adjustment, then you choose hue and saturation. Once you're done, you just hold Control D. So there is my bird. That is called the quick selection tool. We are done with that. Okay, now I hope we are together. We're going to go to the next tool, which is the Marquee tool. The Marquee tool, I'm going to start with what we call the rectangular Marquis tool. This one here, the Marquis tools. The Marquis tools allows us to draw basic shapes with selections. As with Magic Wand tool, the selection can be used to edit an image. So these ones, as you can see, the rectangular Marquis tool is actually the shape of a rectangle. We also have elliptical Marquis tool. It's also the shape of a circle. And then the single row Marquis tool, you can see how it looks like. The single column Marquis tool, this is how it looks like also. It's a column. This is for the row, and this is for the column. So let's go back to our Photoshop and see where these tools are: the rectangular Marquis tool, the elliptical Marquis tool, the single row Marquis tool, and single column Marquis tool. So they are right here. Do we have them? Just a minute. Ziko wapi? Ndio hizi. We have the rectangular Marquis tool, the elliptical Marquis tool, and the single Marquis tool, and the single column Marquis tool. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a new document, File, New, and then I click OK. Just 1 minute.
Hello. Yes, hello, mwalimu.
Once you open a document like this one, you can use, like, for example, the rectangular Marquis tool, and then can we select? Let me make a selection. Once you make a selection, then you can go to Edit. Once you just make a selection on this blank area, you can just go to Edit, and then you choose Fill. Once you click on that, then you choose in the content, you can see where you have the use. So let me repeat, Control B. So I've just used my rectangular Marquis tool. So I just made a selection like that. Then you click on Edit, and then you'll see somewhere, is mine, Fill and Stroke. So currently I want to we'll work with the fill. So fill. Once you click on fill, a window will pop up. You have this pop-up window. You click on, you choose color. I want us to work with the color. And then you choose a color. You can choose a color red. This is called a color picker, or you can work with the color blue, whichever you prefer. Once you select a color, you see, this is how you move with the color picker. You use these bars to choose a color. This one, when you go down, you can go up. The colors change in this section. So if, for example, I want blue, I just click here and then I choose blue. If I want red, I scroll up to where we have got the red color, and then I choose a red color. So once you select the red color or whichever color you've chosen, click OK. Then after that one, you click OK. You can see there we have a selection. We have that selection there, which has been changed to blue.
Before you put the color.
Yes.
Add on before you put Shakala.
Who is that? Let me check. Clinton. Okay, so let me repeat. We selected the rectangular marquee tool. Then we made a selection. And then I went to edit. Then when you click on edit, you choose fill. This fill. Once you choose fill, this pop-up window will show or will appear. Then once it appears, you're going to come to this position here, and then you choose color. Then from there, you're going to choose the color you want. Like for example, if you want the blue color, you can just select the blue color, and then you click OK. Then you click OK again. So there you have your color. Let me try and draw another one. So Control D is another shape. Yes.
Your color is okay, somehow like glowing.
Yeah.
Somehow dull. Okay. The way I'm viewing your color, yes, it's somehow.
Yeah, the color is dull. Yeah, the color is dull. Is yours dull? Yours is, there's a possibility it's not dull because I've already messed up with some figures here. You see, there's somewhere written feather. These feathers. Actually, I will try to see. I'm trying to see if I lower. This one was 40. The color for this one, the feather was at 40. So I'm trying to lower it down to see if I set it to 20, it will be a bit clearer than it is now.
Okay, because mine is at 0, but the picture then is clear.
Yeah, so actually we can lower it to 0. It's because this one, the reason as why this one is black is because I've set the feather to 20. Actually, it was 40. So if I set it to 0, let me try and set it to 0 and then press enter. So after that, let's go to edit, fill. Then I come to this, we come to this position here, and then you choose color. You choose a color of your choice. Let's work with red. Then you click OK, and then you click OK. So this one is still not very clear. Yeah, still not very clear. Let me set it to 20. Let's undo. Edit. Then you go to fill. Choose color. So there is a way my machine is somehow blurred, but it's because of that value there. So fill. This is what it says here on the book. The option bar for marquee tool is very similar in appearance to the magic wand tool. However, you notice that you have an option called feather. By default, marquee tools will define a hard edge selection. However, by entering a pixel value into the feather option, we can create selection that will have a soft edge. Soft feathered selection can be useful as they allow us to blend edits with the layers. So you can see this one. Okay, this one is the original, but when you change the feathers, the feather value, it becomes blurred. This is when it was drawn without any feather value, but when you change those values, it appeared like this. Like for example, now this one you can see there is a difference between this one and this one. This is because I lowered the value. File new. Okay, let me try and draw again. We see that it's going to be clear this time. Define edge. Also, okay. There are some settings I changed yesterday. It's only that I don't remember which. Let me set it to 0. The feather. I've changed the feather to 0. Then we click on Edit, Fill, and then we go to Color. We choose a color there. Then we click OK. So we still somehow blur in a way, and this one is changing the background. I don't want to. Higher. So mine is somehow a bit blurred for some reason. Let me try and see whether it's going to change it. It's going to be more dispersed than it is. So edit, fill, color. Also, you can use, there are different types of colors. So let me use this one. So this one is much more clearer. So I change it to 60 or 70. Let me try and use 70. Press enter. Changing, not. Right, this is different. Okay, so basically that is what we this one also this rectangular marquee tool is also used for selecting. See, it's also similar to these the other tools that we used yesterday for selecting. It's only that currently I'm trying to use a different method to do or to do some editing. Yeah. So like for example, if we make this selection here, and then you come to edit, you choose stroke. You can choose the stroke. There is that color. If you double click, you have your color picker, and then you click OK, and then you click OK. You realize you have like a stroke. It's like you have a transparent stroke. Why is it transparent? It's because of this feather here. The feather value has changed. If I change it to 0, and then I go again to then I make a selection, a small selection, and then I go to edit stroke. I choose a color there. We can choose blue, and then you click OK, and then you click OK again. Okay, that one is not bringing a color. Why is that? Let me uncheck that. All right, so there I have the selection. Okay, it is. It's there. Here it is. Once you deselect, when it's at 0, it's going to be very, very thin. All right. So lasso tools, I looked at those ones. Lasso tool is okay. So all these ones, the tools under the marquee tool, all these ones, they do the same thing. Also the elliptical tool, the elliptical marquee tool. If I can undo everything here, and then to undo everything, you just hold 3 keys, Control Alt Z, and then you do Control Alt Z continuously, and then you'll undo everything, all the changes. So if I make a selection like this using the elliptical tool, and then I go to edit, you'll also find it has the same. It has the same, the fill and stroke. Fill and stroke. Okay. Also, for example, with the dark the image that had the dark, you can use the elliptical marquee tool to select the dark. And of course, you go to edit, and then there are other features here. Okay, I've just chosen a feature called under the edit. I'm selecting content aware. Let's wait for it. So you can see I have two darks. I have this one and I have this one. After selecting using the elliptical marquee tool, and then I went to edit and chose which one, the content aware. I was able to duplicate this dark. So you can see now we have two darks. Actually, it's like, let me hide this one. Okay. Good. Now we are done with this one. I think now you know the purpose of the different selection tool. Their role is the same. It's only that the shapes and the way of drawing them is different. Okay. Now let me go to the next feature here from the notes. It's called copying. Copying a selected item to a new layer. The act of copying a selected item to a new layer is crucial editing technique in Photoshop. It allows you to work non-destructively by applying edits to a new layer instead of original pixels that are located in the background layer. It also allows you to duplicate items to create composite images. So what does that mean? Like for example, you can have the image of the duck, like this one. You see this one? But now when you look at the layers, when you check the layers, you realize that one duck is this duck is on a different layer, and this one is on a different layer. So how do you do that? This is how you do it. Like for example, let me use a different picture. File, open. We're going to open a new picture instead of the duck. And then once you select, you have a picture. And let me use this one. Now I want this one. I want to copy this one. I want to make this one, this particular host, to be on a different layer from this host. So just use any tool for selecting. Like for example, you can use the elliptical marquee tool. Once you select the elliptical marquee tool, go to your host or whichever image you have, and then make the selection. Okay, if it's not okay, you can just, okay, now I've made the selection. Now you want this image to be on a different layer. For us to do that, you just need to right click. You right click on that image that you selected, and then you say layer via copy. Then you click. You realize that the host, this host, you have made a copy of this host on a different layer. If actually I hide this layer, the original layer, if we hide it, you realize you have a copy of a layer in the layer section, and you have your host there. So that is called layer via copy. You've just copied a selection into a different layer. So the host is still there in the original layer, but now you have actually made that copy. Now, if I want to edit this host on this layer, particular layer, unfortunately, I did not select it accurately. So if I change any settings like color, it will also affect this environment. Like for example, if we want to make this selection, or we want to make this host white and black, this one. So what you do, you're just going to make sure that you have selected that layer, that particular layer, the copied layer. Then after that, you just go to image, adjustment, then you choose desaturate. So if you desaturate, it's like this host, it's white and black. But of course now it's because I selected this environment, also this background. That's why it looks a bit, does not look very nice. But if we only made to select this host, and then we do that, it would have appeared as if this host is black and white, but the environment is colored.
Excuse.
Is there a question?
Yeah. Could you kindly repeat the layer via copy?
So the layer via copy, what you do, you make the selection. You make a selection. You can use any tools from the ones I showed you, but for now, I just chose the elliptical marquee tool. So once you select on it, you come to the image that you have, or the image, or you select the image you want to copy to a new layer. Like I can also choose this host. Of course, this one requires a different tool. Like we can choose the rectangular marquee tool. Depending on the image you have, you can choose any of the selection tools. So that one we can use. This one is not working also. So for the host, I can also use quick selection. Let me try that one, quick selection. So selected. So once you select your image using any of the selection tools that we've discussed from yesterday, then if you want this image on a new layer, you just make sure that you've selected. You just right click. You right click on the image, and then you choose layer via copy. So what you have done is that you have copied that image into a new layer. So you can actually make changes to this layer, and then without affecting the original layer.
So you have to uncheck.
Like for example, you can change what we said. You can make this house black and white. So just come to edit. First of all, you need to make sure that you're on that layer, and then you go to image. Then you go to adjustment. You choose desaturate. You can see there my house is black and white, and of course, because I was not very keen on selection, that's why we still have this background being black and white. So this one, once you hide it, you realize you've not affected the original photo. Yeah, you've only affected the copied layer.
Have you desaturated?
How have I desaturated? So first of all, you need to make sure that you're on the layer that you've copied. Once you click on that layer, you go now to edit image adjustment, and then you find the adjustment options, the color adjustment options, or the image adjustment options. So from there, you can choose either desaturate. Is there black and white? There's this one, black and white. And then, of course, when you use the black and white, you can change. You can change your values from there. Okay, so that is just to show you that you can copy a layer. You can copy an image into a new layer, so that you can make changes on it without affecting the original image. Okay, let's go to the last feature for today so that I give you some work. We are done with copying. So we have something else called the foreground. The foreground color. I was actually trying to look at this one. The foreground color and the background color. What is the difference between these one and where do you find them? Okay, let's go back to our Photoshop, show you where they are. So if you want to see the foreground color and the background color, just click on File, New, and then you open a new document. These ones are the very last tools, the very last category of tools here. Like for example, my foreground color is blue, and my this one on the tools. Let me just drag my tools in the middle section. So what I'm saying, or what we are saying is this: the foreground color is blue, and the background color is red. Okay. Now this one, you can see this one. These are the default colors. If I click on that, okay, I'm just swapping this one. This arrow allows me to swap the colors in the foreground. If you point on this one will say foreground, you see, and this one is the background color. The foreground is red and the background is blue. If I click on this arrow, these ones will swap the colors. Like if I click now, my foreground color is blue and my background color is red. If I click again, the colors will swap again. This one will be, the foreground will be red. So this button here is used to swap the colors, the foreground and background. So if I click on that, the foreground will change. If I click on that, the foreground will change and the background will change. So, but now we also have this one here. We have these two buttons. These are the default colors for the foreground and the background. If I click on that, they will change. The default foreground color is black and the default background color is white. So these ones, this button here, if you click on this, it will reset your foreground and background to its default, which is black and white. Okay. So now, how does it work? Let's say, for example, you want to draw a shape. Like you want to draw a shape here. Now, and let's say, for example, you want to change the color of this shape. You usually come to this point, the fill, and then you change the foreground color of that shape. But also, you can change that shape's color from here, from this particular place. And so let's try and see that it's going to accept. So if I draw another one, it still is not changing. That's, I mean, it's supposed to change these colors here. If you double click on this, it will display the color picker. Then you choose a it's usually something. Okay. Let's draw another one. I've just drawn a rectangle tool. I've drawn a rectangle on the canvas. Confirm. This one is not changing. Or instead of working with the shape, let's try using text to change. We try and change the foreground color of some text. This is whether it's going to work this one also. IAT. Then you confirm. Highlight that text. And then we try and change the foreground color. Click OK. So this one, I think it is working. For the text is working, but for the shapes, there it is. Let me try some different text. So there it is. If you want to change the color, the foreground color for this, you select your text, then you double click on the foreground color, and then you choose the color of your choice. There it is. See there. Okay, what about now the background? This background color, how does it affect our document? Now, for you to understand how this one works, the background color, this is the background, the color of our background. Okay, let me use the dark. Let me use this dark image here. We have, or you can open a new image file, open, and then you open a new image. Which image? Can work with this one. So once you open a new image, we want to find out how the background color works. So I want to hope that you open a new image. File, open, then you place an image on the canvas like this one. Remember, our background color is white, or whichever color yours could be blue, yellow. So if somebody came and clicked on the eraser tool and then deleted, you see, deleted. If you delete this one, you realize that the background is white. The background color is white. Why? It's because this background color is white. If you want that one to change, you can undo, Control Z, Control Alt Z. Now let me try and change. Let's change the background color. This background color. So double click, and then we change it to red. You click OK, and then you increase the size of your brush or your eraser tool. You see this one now has changed. Now to increase the size of your eraser tool, you use the squared brackets on your keyboard. That is to reduce. These square brackets next to the enter button. You see the square brackets. They are used to increase the size of the brush and to reduce the size of the brush not the brush but the eraser tool. We have this eraser tool, so it increases. And like, for example, if I click now, I will erase everything in that canvas. It's because the size of my brush, as you can see, is so big. So you can reduce it. And then once you reduce it now, you see the background color is red. So that is the difference between. You see that? Yeah. So if I want to change the background color again, I can double click on this and then I choose a different color. Like we can choose color black. Color black is black, okay. Are there other colors? If you want more colors, you can click on add swatches. No. I want some more colors. Where can I find more colors? Where can I find more colors? I want some more colors. Color libraries. Yeah, here they are. Color libraries. So you have all these colors. You see Pantone. So if I choose a color there and then I click OK, it has changed the background color. So if I delete or I use the eraser tool to remove this background, what will remain on the background will be that specific color. Yeah, so that is the difference between the foreground. The foreground, we say, for example, if I type some text here, we type IAP. You can see the foreground is different from the background. It's because of this. If I swap, okay, let me select this. I want to swap. You see, now it has swapped. That one has disappeared. The IAT has disappeared. Yes. So let me change the IAT from here. Actually, double click. Choose a different color. Choose that one. So now if I confirm or commit, you can see now this is the foreground color and this is the background color. The background color is usually visible when you erase. File, new. Okay. So you can see in this one, the foreground color or the color in this one is white. Double. Okay. Now if I use the result, let's try and remove. You see, when I remove this white color or the color, what will happen? I will remain with the background color, which color is this one? Blue or white? This color is purple, whichever it is. So there it is. So I hope you've understood the concept of background and the fore color and the background color. Swatches also is used for changing colors. Swatches is this section here. If, for example, we type some text here. Yes.
What if you open an image and you try to change the background color and it does not change?
Like you open a new, let me see. Open, like we open this one.